Morning. Morning. Welcome back again. Again and again and again. How's everyone doing today? Friday. Man, I am very excited that it is Friday. Watch videos from 2 years ago, haven't changed. Yeah, for sure. MYK. I go back and watch my videos from 2 years ago, and they are definitely not as valuable as they are now. So definitely, I mean, that's what it's all about, though, right? You know, it's a little bit of motivation for some of you guys out there, right? You just got to start. You got to start somewhere, right? When I started making YouTube videos, it was I had no idea what I was doing, just sort of started. And that's really what it's all about, just getting that first start and then just growing from there. So yeah, but I appreciate that. Cold in Philly, yeah, it's nice in Florida this weekend, and today it's like in the 60s, which is pretty sweet. I love when it's in the 60s here. The high of this weekend is 82, and the lows is around 63. So that's perfect weather. The weekend of the middle of December, it's like highs of 75. That's even better. So some nice days. Very nice days. Fake it till you make it. Yeah, I wouldn't say fake it till you make it. I didn't start making videos until I was knew what I was doing and started to actually trade consistently. But I'm not afraid to say that I'm a better trader today than I was 2 years ago. And I think that should be everyone, right? Every day you should work on improving what you're doing. So I would say definitely better than what I was 2 years ago, but I don't think I was never really faking it. But I guess it's that type of thing, right? Fake it till you make it type of mentality, but you don't want to fake. The thing about getting into the market and especially making videos on the market is, I get on these live streams with very little, a little bit of prep, maybe 15 minutes of prep. And then my videos that I make, I don't script anything for my videos. So it makes it a lot easier for someone that's, understanding of what's going on. Your job, if you're going to start a YouTube channel or start something online, make sure you know what you're talking about, because it makes your life a whole hell of a lot easier. You don't have to prep. You don't have to really think much. You're just doing what you know, right? That's the most important. What you know, and then try to, monetize what you know as best as you can. That's everyone's goal, right? We're all here. We're all human. We're all here trying to make money. I'm no different than you guys, right? I'm no different than you guys. What was my first goal of starting YouTube? Try to build some side income. Try to help people where I can. But of course, guys, right? I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna be. Oh, I didn't do it for the money. I'm a goody two shoes. No, of course I did it to try to make some money on YouTube. Of course, right? And that's what everyone else would start YouTube for, also. So, but I think as I've started to make money on YouTube, it feels like I've actually built a community and actually are helping people, which keeps me motivated, right? That's the motivation. All right, let's get started. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the day. Hopefully you're enjoying the Friday morning. Hopefully you got a coffee in you, maybe a Celsius, maybe something with caffeine. How to make YouTube market trade? Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, so the reason I don't do that stuff, B-Bowler, is because I like to attract people that are. I like to attract people like me, right? I like to attract frugal, motivated, non-flashy individuals. That's sort of what I like to attract, because that's who I am, right? I'm not going to change who I am. All right. So today is Friday, December 2nd, right? Welcome back. Let's get started. Yesterday we did pretty much nothing, but we held the 200 SMA on the S&P 500, right? That was very important, and we talked about that yesterday. We talked about how if the S&P 500 can hold the 200 SMA, then we could try to continue bullish, right? We could try to continue to the upside as long as we hold that 200. That was the major level to watch out for, and we did it very nicely. Took a trade off of it yesterday, the same exact trade that I talked about in the live stream yesterday. Talked about, let's get the pullback, let's get the retest to the 200, let's go long off of it. The exact things we talked about in the live stream, I did that exact thing yesterday to the upside live over the Discord. So congrats, guys, if you're there, if you caught that with me. Very nice. So today we have some more economic data, which could change the outlook, right? We have to, again, be careful of this economic data. This is, again, another thing to be aware of if you're a trader, right? We can't avoid these things. We have to be paying attention to the possible market moving data that is going to be released. We have to understand that this could be market moving, and we have to play protective. We have to be careful. So futures economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pull up that earnings or that economic calendar here today so we can get a look at what we got today. Roberg with the 1997. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for the donation. Very much appreciated. That'll buy me a few coffees here in the morning. I appreciate that. Thanks for keeping me caffeinated. Friday, December 2nd, today, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings, and labor force participation all coming out at 8:30. So that is in about 23 minutes. And this can definitely move the market. It will move the market, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and watch out for this today. That's what we really need to pay attention to. What happens here at 8:30, and what do these numbers look like? Okay. After that, we'll get hopefully an idea of the direction today, and then maybe try to play some continuation. So that's the first thing, right? That's the most important. Yesterday, I think we did have some earnings. I think we had Ulta, which is, I just want to share with you Ulta's chart real quick, which is just unbelievable. Yeah, we had Ulta, UiPath, Marvell. But just look at this Ulta chart, man. This is something. Look at this weekly chart on Ulta. I mean, it's like, okay, where's the downside? When did the market go down? I have no idea, right? Look at Ulta. Just an absolute beast of a stock. This is COVID. This is the COVID drop. And then if you caught the COVID drop, you are up. Let's say you caught it in the 140s. I mean, you're up 230% since COVID. And this thing has not slowed down. So, hey, you're right. There's a bull market somewhere. And this is important to pay attention to, right? There is always a bull market somewhere. That's the one thing that Jim Cramer says that's true, is that there's always a bull market somewhere, and it's definitely in Ulta. Look at this thing. So people still buying makeup. Ulta still killing it. Crazy. All right, so that's nothing really else on the earnings calendar. It's all going to be about the economic calendar today. In about 20 minutes, we'll see what happens there. Cracker Barrel today. Watch out. Yeah. All right, so Tesla 200, that we're going to look at that. Very big level at Tesla. On Tesla, it did reject it yesterday, and it's going to be tough to get through that 200, right? We're definitely going to need another market move to get Tesla through 200. This is a big level to watch. Microsoft 250. We talked about that pullback. We got close to it yesterday. We didn't get to exactly 250, but we definitely got bought up in the low 250s. And we have to see. I think as long as Microsoft is over 250, I think it's still bullish, obviously depending on the economic news we get today. Google is also a very interesting one. Google, we all know, is a great company. Google's not going anywhere. If Google goes somewhere, then things are really being shaken up in the world. So Google over 100. It's a very nice stair-stepping upside move that Google has been on, a very structured move, and I'm interested on this one, so I'm going to share it with you today. Shopify has been very strong. Shopify is holding above a previous rejection at 43, and I would like to see it stay above that. Obviously, for my personal positions, I have a good amount of Shop long-term. I have, I'm invested in Shop. Let's just say that. So I want to see Shop over 43. It is holding it. I'm going to keep an eye on this one. Meta and Netflix, insane gap fills, moves to the upside. Let's continue to watch these ones. They are definitely some of the hot names right now. And Netflix is just about $15 off that gap fill that we have been watching on this live stream for 5-6 months, right? If you've been with me for 5-6 months here in the live stream, we've been just sort of eyeing that Netflix gap fill, saying eventually this will fill the gap. And we are pretty damn close to both these gap fills. So let's check these out. FedEx is another one that has a potential gap fill if we get more upside, and I like the 180 retest I'm seeing today. And then finally, Apple 147.50. I think this is huge for the market, Apple and the market, because Apple, you guys know, is a huge part. Finally, we'll get to your tickers today, and we'll jump out of here. We'll enjoy the weekend. I mean, if I had a good week, right? I had a good week. I had some nice SPY trades. I had some nice Apple swing trades from yesterday. I had a pretty good week, and I'm not really trying to mess it up today. It's Friday. There's more to life than trading. If I can get out of here early today and just enjoy the weekend, I will be more than happy to do so. All right, if you guys had a good week so far, please do not mess it up today. I mean, just don't even trade, right? If you just think back, think about yourself in the future. Think about next week. Think about Monday. Think about maybe next Friday. When you're going to look back at your first start of December, and if you have a green week right now, you're not going to think back and say, well, I didn't trade Friday. Like, what am I doing? No, you're going to be like, hey, I had a great week. I don't need to mess this up. You did well. All right, just keep it easy. All right, it's Friday. No reason to be pushing yourself to the maximum today. With maybe some lower volume, maybe some volatility because of economic data. Just, take it easy. There's nothing wrong with taking it easy sometimes. All right, so let's go over the NASDAQ. I'm live every single day in the Discord trading from 9:15. I start at 9:15, and I'm usually there to around 11:30, maybe sometimes 12, but usually 11:30 when the market starts to slow down, because I don't trade past that time typically. The only time I'll trade past that time at maybe once in a while is like an FOMC day, but very, very rarely do I even get involved in that. So that's usually when I'm live too. All right, so here's the NASDAQ. And what did we do, right? What did we do yesterday? Well, we're still below this rejection level, right? This is the level we talked about. We tried to get above it yesterday early morning and failed miserably, right? This is still a very clear, still a very clear rejection level. So we have to be careful there. Anywhere between 12,008, 12,080, 12,100, it is very clear that this is difficult to get over. So why be bullish here until you get a clear break and hold, right? Why try to trade it through this We need to get a clear break. We need to get a hold. We need to see some continuation over this double top rejection level. That is what I would wait for the upside. Is it possible that the data today causes a downside move off this rejection point? Absolutely. So that's what we need to be cautious of now in about 15 minutes. So we have our rejection here, right? We have our rejection here. We have a double top rejection. Now it's up to the data. Does it help us through this level, or do we move back to the downside? And if we do, it's all about, again, 11,930. Nothing has changed, right? Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I wouldn't say this is a head and shoulders, guys. This is just a little consolidation above the 100. We're just moving sideways. We're just waiting for the economic data. That's all this is. Don't overanalyze this here. Okay? This is the 1 hour chart. I would not overanalyze this. This is just some consolidation before an economic news event. So today, we're either going to see probably the economic news help us through this rejection point if we can get continuation, or if we get if the economic data is ugly and the market does not like it, I would expect at least a 1% move back down to this retest level again. That's what I would be watching. 11,930, 12,080. The levels have not changed. Nothing has changed since yesterday. If we break down 11,930, turn it into a rejection, then you got your downside move. Very possible. If the market does not like what it hears, and if you get a push again down to 930, is demand step in again? Is there a possible trade back to the upside? That's what I would be watching. Again, 11,930, 12,080, this whole area, 12,100, very difficult. If we break this 930 level, that's, I think, where you're going to see some slippage step in. All right. ES, same exact thing, right? Same exact thing. Yesterday, 200 SMA, previous retest level, and you guys can see right there, that 40-50 level is the level to watch. Previous highs, and you can see yesterday we pulled back to it. We held it as support near that 40-50, 200 SMA, got bought back up, and just sort of sitting right here in the middle now as we speak. So again, the ES is sitting right above this 200, right above this 40-50 level. That is the must-hold level. You break this, you break the 200, your downside comes in. Okay, very clear. I would be cautious shorting anything before you get this break. It's the same thing I said yesterday, right? Why try to short this until you get a break of the 40-50 level and the 200 SMA, right? You can clearly see the demand stepped in yesterday, so why not just wait for the break of yesterday's lows? Why not just wait for the break of the 200? Because then you know the bears are going to be on your side, right? Then you know the downside is going to be sort of flooding in here. So just wait. If we get a downside move, I would wait to see if we break this 200 SMA. It's very easy to just wait and see, right? The only reason, you would get in before this is probably just FOMO and you trying to catch, a move maybe down to here. But I think the bigger opportunity, if you're really looking for risk to reward, if that's your trade plan, then just wait for the break and retest of the 200 SMA. Right? That's what I would be watching. All right? So that's what I would be watching there on the ES. Of course, the daily chart, you can see the long-term downtrend is still very much alive. Right? That long-term downtrend is still very much alive, and we need to be paying attention to it. Previous rejection, right? They are exactly on this downtrend. Right here, and you can see we are sitting right at it today, right at that long-term downtrend. Okay? So if I go to the 5-minute, look, that's your downtrend right there. It's literally just stuck right underneath it. So we have to watch this long-term downtrend, and we have to watch 40-50 and the 200 SMA. Dow Jones, 4-hour chart. The Dow actually looks sort of bullish here. If we get another move, I could see another bullish push. Why do I say that? It's because look at what it's doing right now, guys. It is retesting the previous highs, right? We have a previous high here. We have a previous high here around that 32,250. And we are holding right above it. So if I go down to the 30-minute chart, right, if we turn this rejection point, which was, again, let me make sure you're aware of what I'm looking at, this level here, which is 34,250, right? That is a previous high. This is back in August before we made that downside move. We came back up, 34,250. Again, a rejection. Now, let me go zoom in so you can see this closer. And you can see, right, this 34,250 level, which was a previous rejection here, but not only here, back in August that we just looked at. Look at what it's doing, right? It's trying to hold it as a support level. So depending on economic data here in about 10 minutes, who? Mike Jones. Depending on the economic data here in about 10 minutes, right? If the Dow continues to hold this 34.2, this is bullish, right? This is a bullish move. There's no doubt about that. Now, of course, you might have your preconceived notions about the market. You might be emotional about thinking that we have to go down, but this technically is a bullish hold. So we have to be aware of that. Even if you're bullish, even if you're bearish, you have to be aware that on the technical standpoint, the Dow is holding a previous rejection point as support, and it did it very well yesterday. Look at this yesterday. It came right back down to that previous high, and it held it very well. So that's the first thing to watch on the Dow. 34,250, right? Watch that. If you get that break, then maybe there's downside to be had, right, on economic data. If you break this level, then I would look for the downside maybe down to 33.8. But, right, if we do get some type of bullish action here today, this is sort of looking like a break and retest for more upside. And that could be another launch pad for the Dow off this level if we get a break and hold of that previous rejection point. So, again, just going to depend on the economic data we get in about 10 minutes. That's really what it's all about. All right, the Russell, we talked about this yesterday. Let's look for the pullback to 1870, and look what we got. I mean, just a perfect pullback to 1870. So we were up here yesterday morning, right? And I said, look for the retest of this level. You just saw the lines on the chart, right? These lines are from yesterday. I have not touched these. So these are the lines that we messed around with yesterday. And, I mean, look at that. It's almost perfect to what we drew out in the pre-market. So pullback right to that retest level, 1870, boom, pullback, hold it. A little bit of a hold there, but nothing crazy yet. Again, economic data. All right, guys. So, I mean, I'm giving you a little bit of insight on what I'm seeing here. But, of course, again, 8:30, that's what it's going to be all about. We'll check back into the futures at 8:30 to see what's going on here. All right, Tesla. So I actually quite enjoy this Tesla move. I think it's a pretty structured move as of now, but I am a little concerned about the 200 area, right? Because you can see this is definitely a tough rejection point here. It's going to be a rejection point here. So we definitely need to watch out for that. But I do like the structure that we have here, right? We have a push to the upside, a stair step, right? We built a stair right here. Now we've taken our next step up. Now we need to build our next stair. And it looks like we are starting to build somewhat of a base here around this 194, 193 area. However, it's a little bit more elevated than I would like. If this price action was happening right here, I think I'd be more bullish on Tesla. If we were sort of basing right at this retest level, let's say Tesla, if we could just copy or cut this little area and paste it about 5 points lower right here, then I would like that a lot more because I think there is still a chance that Tesla does this, right? Pulls back to the retest, starts to consolidate here, and then maybe gets your push, right? I think there's still a possibility of a retest down to that 188.50 area. So I'm going to be cautious of that. The 188.50 area on Tesla, I think that's possibly a pullback level to watch if we get market downside. Keep an eye on that 20 SMA and the 188.50 area for a retest level. If we get a push to the upside, right, look for the retest of 200. That would be your next long entry right here on a break and retest of this 200 level. All right, so Tesla's actually pretty nice here. Nice uptrend, nice stair-stepping patterns. You either need a break at 200 or you need a retest of 188.50. Tesla's right in the middle of that range. I would be careful in the middle. Microsoft. So Microsoft came back. Where did it come back down to yesterday? It came back to, okay, it did come pretty damn close, actually. 250.92. That was where we pulled back to. This was the retest level that we talked about. I know some of you guys in the Discord actually caught this one, so congratulations on that. Nice pullback to 250 area. I would have rather seen it at 250 just to make me, just to, you know, when you see it right at your retest level, you get a little bit more interested. So it was a little bit above it, about 92 cents above the retest, which is still pretty damn good. But you can see previous highs, previous highs, previous highs. 250 was a brick wall, right? you have to consider what this means, right? If you have a brick wall at 250 and then yesterday you notice something like this where it gets bought up off 250, that is a noticeable change, right? That's a noticeable change that we have to be paying attention to. So if Microsoft can continue to consolidate above 250 here, continue to consolidate above the 100 SMA, I don't see how that's not bullish, right? If you can continue to consolidate above this previous triple top, I would assume that if the market can stay somewhat strong or not totally melt down, then Microsoft can continue here. If we can continue to see consolidation above 250, right, my next look would be back towards this 268, 270 area. That's, of course, if the market can stay together, right? Unless we have a meltdown, then that's not happening. But if the market can sort of hold up, if we can get upside, maybe today off the economic news, then I really do like Microsoft above this triple top. I would be paying attention to this. If and when we break 250, momentum's gone, all right? If you're an upside and we break 250, you got to get out, right? Under 250, momentum's gone. Bears come back in. Okay, Google, that's what's great about these retest levels. You know exactly where the momentum's going to get lost. You have to be above 250. Google, same exact sort of setup, right? Same exact thing, sort of like Tesla, sort of like Microsoft, right? Again, another stair-stepping pattern that really does give some clarity as to what this stock is doing. So if we go here on the hourly chart, right, you can see we had a previous low here. We broke above it. We came back down, double bottomed right at this 20 SMA and the 94.40 area right there. Very clean hold of that 94.40. Little hold, little triple bottom. Very nice little stair, right? We created that stair. We took the step up, right? You stepped up. Now, what needs to hold? In my opinion, it's this Psych 100 level, right? Right at that psychological 100 level. I'll go ahead and put that right at 100. So you can see we have that Psych 100 level right here. And if Google can maintain that 100 level, if we can start to consolidate right above it, then I would say your next test is up towards that 104. Right, that's your next test right up here. Previous rejection here, previous rejection here. That would be your next test at 104, right? So 100, 104, that's the channel you're in on Google. But again, I like this little build, right? You can see some of these stocks are sort of building nicely as of now with clear levels, right? Levels that we can trade off of, levels we can understand what to look for. Stair steps, breaks of previous rejections. Can they turn back into support? If they don't, then we know we can't be bullish. But if they do, then we have ourselves a nice stop loss level, right? Let's say you were to go long Google here. Where do you stop out? It's very easy, right? You stop out under 100, and that's your game plan. As long as Google holds 100, I like it to the upside. I will get in here at 101, have $1 of risk to on the underlying stock, right? Maybe I'm buying shares at 100 with the stop, or 101 with the stop under 100, and I have risk reward up to 104. So that's a 3-to-1 trade, right? You're in at 101 with a profit target of 104, and you have a stop of 100. Risk reward, right? That's all you can do. That's all you can do in trading is risk to reward. So something like that, how this is structured, I like how these markets are sort of structuring here. That's why I'm bringing these up. Shopify. So Shop is, I am really hoping for something big here on Shop. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, right? I am very, I'm in my back of my mind, I really want Shop to succeed here, to the upside. So you guys can see we have a 43 level, which has been very, very important on Shopify. That is right. Let me just sort of break down, because it's hard to sort of tell without really breaking this down. But 43 is right here. The high of this candle is 42.99, and you can see we also rejected right in this general area. This is back in August. This is August 11th, and this is August 4th. So you can see if I zoom out, that is the high of these candles here, around $43 per share, almost exactly. Now, if we go down to the 1-minute chart, I want to show you what's going on here today and sort of yesterday as well. So you can see into close yesterday and in the pre-market today, look at the line that Shopify is riding right now. It is riding right on top of 43. So, in my opinion, if you want to see Shopify stay bullish here in the short term, I really would like to see it hold 43, right, and continue to the upside off that 43 level. But like I've been saying, that is all going to be very dependent on the economic news that's about to come out here. So let's see if 43 holds. If 43 does not hold, then I would look for a pullback to this previous high around 41.70, right in this general area. That would be my pullback level. Maybe it might be back to this 41 area here, the 200 SMA actually. That's probably more of a strong hold here, right at these previous highs here, right at this previous little high here, and the 200 SMA. So if we get a pullback today, I would look for SHOP maybe back to that 41 area. Maybe there's an opportunity there. Okay? So let's see what happens there on SHOP. 43 is important, and then 41.20. NASDAQ, ES. Let's see what happens here on the E. Let's go ES because I think the ES is a little bit more clear here because we have that long-term downtrend and we have the 200 SMA. Here we go. So let me pull up the data here. We're about to get economic data in about 20 seconds. Get that pulled up. And we'll see what happens here live. Press the like button, if you could. Oh, that's not going to help SHOP. It looks like we're going to break it. Market doesn't like it. Oh, this is big. Yeah, that's big. That's a big break right there, guys. Well, that's going to hurt my SHOP shares. Oh, well. But, yeah. ES downside. Looks like the market's not liking what it sees. 200 SMA break, that's important, right? This could definitely cause some slippage today. Let's see. U.S. labor, non-farm payrolls. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's big. That's a big increase. That's not good. All right, that's definitely bearish. That's definitely bearish. So a big increase in the non-farm payrolls, which we do not want to see. So let's see how this works out. But right now, definitely a bearish reading on the non-farm payrolls. Let's see if we get, I'm waiting for more data. We got unemployment. We got average hourly earnings. We got labor force participation as well. But first read here is definitely increase in jobs, bearish for the market. It's 263 plus versus 200,000. Time to liquidate. Yeah, sell it all. Everyone panic. All right. Here we go. Unemployment rate 3.7. So that matched estimations. Average hourly earnings month over month 0.6 versus 0.3. So earnings are up. Average hourly earnings year over year 5.1 versus 4.6. So nice increase on the, I think this is the most important one. Non-farm payrolls 263 versus 200. That's the most important. Yeah, so looks like that's definitely going to put some lag on the market there, those numbers. So now we're right back in this channel, right? Now we are right back in this channel. So I would say the next watch would be this 39.40 area on ES. That's very possible where your next move could come to. Back to 39.40, right? Right back in here. Let's look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ broke below that retest level. So now you're looking at 11,600 again. Right? 11,600. That would be your next move. So definitely some downside coming in off that data. I would watch 11.6, right? Right there. And then on the ES, I would watch 39.40, 39.20 in this area for us to come back down to. But yeah, that level is broken. This is exactly the move that sort of kills that upside momentum, right? Okay. So let's continue to see labor force participation. Labor force participation, 62% versus 62.1 versus 62.3. So labor force participation slightly lower. Unemployment rate, 6.7 versus 6.8. So the unemployment rate is coming down. So that means more people are working. So very nice move to the downside. I mean, I guess, Mr. TNT, I don't know. Do you trade that move? That seems risky, though, doesn't it? To trade that on the news event? But, I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're in it, then that's huge. That's a big move. So, yeah, that downtrend, look at that. Look at that right there. Very clean downtrend break, or downtrend rejection. Right? So, we are definitely still plagued by this downtrend. No doubt about it. Look at that. See this rejection? And look at what's coming in again today. Could this be, right? Could this be your next? Could this be the start to your next move? That's what we have to watch. So I would watch that 39.20, 39.40 area on ES today. See what happens in that general area if we get more downside today. Where's it holding right now? Let's see where it's trying to hold right now. There's a strategy to playing the economic news. $4,007. Hold on, I'm trying to find if there's anything here on the hourly. Yeah, there's a little. Okay, so here it is. This is where it is. 30-minute. Hold on. Right here. I remember this level. So here's your level. 4,006. That's what I would watch. That's your intraday level right there. You have this previous low. I remember this level. I remember this little area. 4,006, 4,006. That's what I would watch today. Right there. Previous lows, previous rejection. If you get below this, then I think you get your continuation. Right? That's your area to watch on the ES. 4,006. That's the level I would watch there. You get NASDAQ going. It's right here. 12.7 right in this area. 12.720. 12.725. This is what I'd watch right here. If you break that, more downside. All right? Okay? So 12.725 and 4,006. Those are the levels I'd watch here. You can see as of right now, there's some sign of a hold there, so that's good for you, right? Because if you have a hold here and then you come back below these lows, then look for that, right? That's your next move right there. So if you get a break back below the 4,006 level, that's your retest rejection that I would look for today. All right, let's go back into Tesla. Let's go back into the stocks so we can see what just happened here. So Tesla, I would look for a pullback to this. I would look to see what we do on this pullback to 188.50. Looks like we're going to get it. Looks like we're going to get this 188.50 pullback. So right here, look for that pullback to 188.50 on Tesla. You can see this previous double top, the 20 SMA. Watch for that 188.50 level. All right, so let's run through what we just looked at once again. Microsoft, okay, Microsoft's below 250. So we don't like that anymore. Now you want to see if 250 turns into a rejection play, right? Can 250 now turn into a rejection here early morning? That's what I would look for now today. 250 rejections on Microsoft, because now it is below that level. Google, same thing, right? Now we're below 100 on Google. So now we want to see if 100 turns into a rejection play. That's what I would be looking for now as well. And this is why economic data is so important. That's why these mornings are so, you got to really stay on the game here. Shopify, previous high, 200 SMA. That's the level I'd watch on Shop, right? You can see right here. 200 SMA. It's trying to hold that 4120 area. That's the level I would watch now on shop. It came right back to our level on shop. So that's our level to watch now. Let's go Apple. Let's look at some of the important tech names so we can get a game plan here. Yeah, Apple breaking down this 147.50. Don't love that. Right? Don't love that. That's a little bit difficult to get a read on, right? You're sort of just in the middle of this channel now. So what I would look for now is maybe a fake pushback in the 147.50. Because this is sort of right in the middle of the channel here on Apple. Right between 147.50 and 140. You're sort of right in the middle here. I would say to look for a rejection of 147.50. AMD, I would look for a pullback to 72 on AMD. Look at the 4-hour chart. Right? So a very clean rejection once again up here. Look for that pullback to 72. Right, maybe there's another hold here around that 20 SMA and 72 here on AMD. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is rejecting this 170.50 level, right? Previous lows into a rejection, right? That is very important there. So you guys can see right here, these previous lows into this double top rejection. That is definitely something to watch out for in NVIDIA. I would say if the downside continues, I would look for this to move back to this downtrend. You'd probably see NVIDIA back down towards this 159, 160 area. You can see on the 4-hour chart, it's been holding this downtrend on every pullback. So my assumption is if the market stays, if it continues lower, I would look for this move back to the downtrend and then see what happens there. Either the push back to the upside or the eventual flush of the downtrend. And that is very important on NVIDIA, right? Losing this 4-hour uptrend, that will definitely signal some downside here on this play. But that 170 double top is very clear on NVIDIA. Meta's I would almost say that it's rejecting the gap fill area here almost. You can see right around that 122. Meta sort of breaking down off that level. You can see this previous low. It's not perfect, but it's pretty damn close. So you're getting that rejection on Meta. Yeah, I would sort of watch these previous highs right in this whole zone here, 117. See what it does at 117. If you lose these previous highs, I would say more downside continuation in that general area. Netflix. So Netflix. Let me start with Netflix on the daily, actually. Let's go daily on Netflix. Netflix daily. Look at this. So we were pretty damn close to that gap fill. You can see right here, previous double bottom low into that would be your gap fill level right around that 330 area. But today you can see we're starting to get a little bit of weakness there. On the 4-hour chart, I guess you could, it looks like Netflix is almost like a Fibonacci retracement type play, right? Because the pullbacks are not really, so this is it came back to about between the 50 and 61.8. What did it come back to here? 50 and 61.8. Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like, it looks like Netflix is almost a fib retracement play. So you can see here, I know this is a little messy, but here, Netflix came back to that golden zone, which is between the 50 and 61.8 right there, right? That's where Netflix pulled back to. On this push, same thing, right? 61.8 and 50% retracement. That's your golden zone right in there, right? So that's another. So what would I look for again? I would do the same thing, right? Where's the 50 and 61.8 retracement here? I would probably look for a move back down to the 300 to 295. I would look for that. That seems to be what Netflix has been doing. Because looking at these pullbacks, it's not really like a structured level pullback, right? It's just sort of in the middle of really nowhere. This one's sort of clean, back to the previous highs, right here. You can see we sort of pulled back to those previous highs. But this one is just sort of in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's like the 277 level we talked about. But it almost looks like it's pretty consistent with the fibs. So once again, you guys can see here, 61.8, 50% retracement. Same thing, 61.8, 50% retracement. I would look for a pullback, probably back towards this 300 area. Maybe back to these previous lows here, 300, 295. That's what I'd look for if we get downside continuation, of course. FedEx. FedEx is it below 180 now? Yes, it is, I believe. It's still sort of holding above it, but FedEx is another stock that's in a gap play, right? You can see this gap here on FedEx. And if you can see right here, FedEx had these previous highs around this 180 level. So I'd watch this 180, 179 level on FedEx, see if it holds these previous highs today. If it does, right, then this could be a nice little retest trade on FedEx for the gap fill. But of course, we'll have to see how the market reacts. But you do still have some upside gap fill here up towards 200. So let's see what 180 does today on FedEx. That's something I'm going to be watching. And we already went over Apple. Here's Apple. You can see Apple broke that 147.50 and is a little bit weak underneath that. So overall, it looks like we're breaking a few key levels here today, guys, off the jobs data. This is definitely crucial. We broke that 11,930. That's a key break. We broke the 200 SMA. That's a very key break. Now we have to worry about that turning into rejections, right? So now that you are below the key level and below the 200 SMA, now it's about, does this turn into a rejection play? That's more of what would be on my mind than anything else today. All right, I wouldn't look for the upside into the 200. I would rather look to play now the rejection of the 200 more than anything, just because we are now below the retest level that I wanted to see hold. So that's what I'd look for. And then on top of that, it's this 4,006 level on the ES. If you break that, you're either getting that downside under 406 for more downside, or I would look for the push to the 200 and then see if this rejects up here. All right, those would be my two major watches here. 200 SMA or the break and retest to the downside of 4,006. Those would be the two major things I'd watch today. If you get back above the 200, that would be a very interesting move. Who knows? I'm hard-pressed to think that happens, but who knows? 200 SMA rejections, 4,006 break and retest to the downside. Those are the two things I'd watch today for plays on the S&P or the SPY or anything else. NASDAQ, same thing. Push to 11,930 or a break of the lows around this 11,730 area. Okay? Yeah, the 40-50 is right at the 20 SMA or 200 SMA. Yes. Yep, right there. That would be where that would be a great rejection play, right? If we can get it right here, right? If we could get this push back up to that previous rejection, maybe there's a rejection to play there. That's what I would watch. Okay. PA, tune possible levels on cost. Yes, you got it, PA. Let's take a look at Costco. Yeah, Costco they reported some numbers, and the market did not like what it heard. Let me go ahead and delete these SMAs because they're really irrelevant here on Costco. Costco broke this 4-hour uptrend, which is not good for Costco, right? I would say Costco probably back to 489, 490 right here is probably your next move, PA. Right there. These previous highs, I would look for Costco back to the 490. This level's dead. That rejection was clean. You broke the 4-hour downtrend. I would look for a move here to 490 PA. If you break that, I would look for a move back down to this right here, 475. This previous low at 475. So 490, 475, that's what I would watch. Predictions for today's market. This is how you predict today's market. This is all you watch right here. Okay? This is what you watch. You watch for either a break and retest of this 4,006 level to the downside for more downside, or you look for a rejection up into the 200 SMA. Those are the two things I'd watch for today. Okay? I think those are the two possibilities here today. Either a break and retest of this 4,006 level for more downside, or a rejection of the 200. Those are the two things I'd watch. All right, let's go over to the ticker form. See what you guys got today, and then we'll jump out of here. So 1202. Oh, we got a lot. All right, let's go quick. GS. If you guys could press the like button before heading out, that would be fantastic. Here's GS. I would watch this 373 area. 373. All right, you can see right here. Let me zoom out. You guys can see this previous rejection here, 373. That's what I'd look for, 373 on Goldman Sachs. That has to hold. NVIDIA we did, Netflix we did, end phase. So yeah, I'm still in those end phase puts, and hopefully this downside move helps, right? This would be nice if we can get the downside move to help here for me. Oh, you can't see? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Goldman Sachs. Back to Goldman Sachs. Sorry, I was on the wrong thing. Yeah. Let me go back. Let me get more space here. My bad, guys. Goldman Sachs, 373, 373. That's what I'd look for right there. Okay. Back to end phase. I have those puts on end phase still. Hopefully this downside in the market helps me out a little bit. But that level is still rejecting. All right, that level is still rejecting on end phase. So I'm going to still hold these puts. PDD. PDD's just sort of been grinding here. I mean, I can't really... I don't like to give advice on these Asian market names. I think this is this Asian market. Yeah, I mean, it's tough for me to get a read on the Asian market lately, but I would look for a pullback to the 75 level. That's my next entry point if I was to. Costco we looked at. UNH. UNH is just getting stuck up here on the daily. You guys see all these rejections. It's stuck right in the middle, guys. You have to wait to see what happens. You're stuck right in the middle of this channel between 506 and 550. It's a tough area to play UNH. MongoDB. I mean, it's... I don't know. I don't know enough about the company to give you an accurate reading here, but on the technical side, I would say it's just trying to hold up in this little consolidation from back in 2019, all this area, 130 area. It's going to try to hold there, but it looks like it has earnings, so it looks like someone's back at it again with the earnings plays. Do we have earnings here? We do. Next. Lulu. Earnings next. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. If you've seen anything today, is that technicals do not mean anything on earnings, and they do not mean anything on economic news. So if you're trying to do technical analysis, right, you can have your levels set, but you cannot make plays off of economic news and earnings, right? It's just, you can't, like, if I would have said, oh, I'm going to, go long off 11,930 on the ES today, then it wouldn't have worked. I would have got crushed. So let the economic news play out. Let's see where it sort of holds up or breaks down. Let the earnings plays play out. Let's see where it holds up or breaks down, and then we play it. All right? So recommend to me the earnings stuff after the earnings is released, and then we can look at it. All right, guys. So, again, to recap, right, I'll do it one last time because I feel like I want to make sure people are aware of the levels to be watching here today. I know it's been a little bit of a hectic stream, but 4,006, 40.50. 4,006, 40.50 on the ES, and on the NASDAQ, it's 11,725 and 11,930, right? This area is what you need to be watching today. All right? So let's see what happens today. Guys, it's Friday. It's going to be probably a little volatile at open, right? Because of what we just saw in the pre-market. So let that volatility shake out. Let's see where the market wants to head, right? You could get both things. You could get a downside move in the pre-market, a fake push at market open, and then a bull trap, right? You could totally see the bull trap come in today. You could get that fake push maybe up to that 200 SMA on the ES, and then reject that 200 and then fall back to the lows. Totally possible today. The next thing that's possible is a bear trap, right? We could break down here in the morning, and we could see an upside push intraday. So be careful of those traps to either side, bullish or bearish. Let the market sort of work things out, 10, 15 minutes, give it some time, and then see where you can find the trade today. We'll see what happens, guys. No one knows what's going to happen on the market. All we can do is watch, react, and be nimble and trade our strategy. That's all we can do. That's all we can do as traders, and that's all we need to focus on. All right? So press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Go watch Wednesday on Netflix. It is slowly becoming my favorite show I've ever watched. I don't know if I'm a weirdo for that. I don't know if I'm soft. Maybe I feel a little bit soft liking that move or liking that show so much. But man, it is a well acted show. I love it. Go watch it this weekend. It's great. Pump the stock. Pump Netflix stock for me, all right? All right, guys. Have a fantastic weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. I'll see you guys on Monday. Peace out.